So why, because many would transition after that then to, you know, national politics. Why didn't you? Why didn't you seek elective position after school?
I believe that a good politician is one who is grounded in some profession. I don't think that politics should be a full-time occupation. I believe that a good leader is one who infuses some value, brings in some contribution from a different profession. I mean, if all our leaders were career politicians, then we'll not have the diversity that we need to move this country to the next level. I wanted to first of all attain some level of proficiency and expertise in a professional line, become a professional leader, so that at the right time I could apply that to the growth and development of the country.
Okay.
And I think that the experience I've obtained as an information technology specialist in financial services and supply chain is extremely relevant to our nation, because I would say that we are a digital country. There are a lot of digital initiatives going on in this country, and what I've seen lacks is proper discourse, proper dialogue that is underpinned by a good understanding of the issues at hand.
Okay.
Because most of the discussions, if you look at the digital migration, people have taken positions depending on their political parties or depending on emotion, rather than by looking at the rationale of the issues being advanced. So that technological background, I believe that the 12, 13 years I spent out there was very good preparation for my role in nation building.
Okay. So I remember in an interview by KTN's Victor Ogale, you described and you talked about your family, talking about your father being a polygamous man. Are you polygamous as well?
I am not polygamous.
Talk to us about your family, your immediate one.
My family, that's my wife and children.
Yes.
I'm married to a statistician, a mathematician, a chartered insurer.
Okay.
That is one woman. There are not three.
That is all one. Okay.
Yeah, my wife is, she spends the time in underwriting. She's an insurance professional. I've got a son who's 2.5 years, and you know, he's a guy who takes all the time that I have when I'm at home, him and my wife.
Yeah.
I am very committed to my family, because at the end of the day, that's all you've got, and I appreciate that. And even when I'm campaigning, when I'm out there, I've got a lot of focus on families, because that is something that is dear to the heart of every woman and every man out there.
The foundation.
Yes, so I've got a fairly young family, and I believe in the well-being and welfare of my family.
So you don't intend to follow in your father's footsteps?
Their time was different.
Okay.
I think it was a generational issue. Among the Luo, polygamy was condoned and is still condoned, but the dynamics have changed. You've got HIV and AIDS. You've got a greater economic burden such that polygamy is no longer sustainable.
Yeah. And how was it growing up in a polygamous family? Because I imagine then there's these other kids, different wives, and sometimes you'll find for some it's competition for attention in those situations, lots of sibling rivalry as well going on. What was your experience like?
I would say my dad was a very good manager, and he also married women who were equally good managers. We had a very unified upbringing. This was a family where we prayed together every morning and prayed together every evening. We went about our cause together. If it meant working on the farms, we would collectively work on the farm of one mother and move on to the farm of the other mother. We had all our meals together on the same table. We grew up together. You know, as boys, we slept in the same houses. We called them Simba. So my parents really made an effort to make us feel like we were one unit. In fact, my other mother, I just call her Big Mother. We don't have anything like stepmother in my town.
Mama mkubwa.
Yeah, so she's just my mother. It's like my biological mother.
Right.
So we were lucky to have a very harmonious coexistence. My parents are still alive, all of them, and every other time we go home, it does not matter which house I go into. I am sure and I know that they'll pray for me when I get into that house, and I'll get a meal and I'll be comfortable.